Do you have detailed information about the influx of workers which have been posted to and from Portugal?
Yes, I will send the statistical data, particularly from France, where the ACT numbers correspond to the French AST numbers. Surprisingly, for the first time, the numbers from ACT are also starting to match the Social Security numbers.
To what extent has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the process of posting workers and the working conditions of posted workers in the company?
It slowed down during COVID-19, and I think by sectors.
What types of changes caused by the pandemic have posted workers and the company experienced in countries of origin and host countries?
I never really understood how this could generate profit for companies, except in very specific circumstances. However, the payment of salary equal to that in the host country was mandatory even before the pandemic. I admit that there were some illegal arrangements in which local companies would pay out the salary and all other expenses to workers, and that many companies made a lot of money off this business. For example, we had a situation with fiber optic installation in France performed by Portuguese workers. The worst cases are in the EU area, where it's 90% in the construction industry. Slaughterhouses with 90% of workers coming from Brazil. Agriculture, even though it's a seasonal business. Certain posting of workers to areas where things could sometimes go wrong. In the European area, the transport sector, where there is a new directive from 2023 which caused some problems for Portuguese workers, especially in Central Europe.
How does the company anticipate the future development of the posting process, and what are the expectations regarding jobs involving posted workers?
The problems will continue to appear in the context I've previously described. Posting will continue and is extremely important due to the lack of workers. In Central European countries, France, Germany, as well as in Portugal, where the need is only expected to grow, since the number of workers posted abroad is nearing the number of workers being posted from third countries. These postings to Portugal create problems related to immigration policies, but for me, as an inspector, it makes no difference whether a worker is Chinese, Portuguese, or any other nationality. In Belgium, we had a situation with a Portuguese company which had posted Brazilian workers. They were returned to Portugal, only to return to Belgium several days later, because nobody is controlling the European area and the mobility of these workers. This European area is like Babylon. It will continue to be like this, and it will not get better because we have a lot of foreigners. Where we had migrants from Eastern and African countries in the 2000s who understood how things work in Portugal, we now have Latin Americans from Ecuador, Brazil, Argentina, etc., and Asians, Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc., who do not understand the Portuguese system and don't even speak the language. Posting of workers is only going to get worse. European bodies will only start functioning in 20 years' time. It's an agency, not a body. The European Committee is the one in charge. We need to think about this next. It's a lot of effort to have each of the 27 countries with its own politics and interests. And some of them don't even want to know about this body or only want to know if they are of certain nationality. Consequently, this body has a long way to go in joint work. For now, it is bringing people together, carrying out some studies. But it has no authority and depends on the goodwill of the countries. The result is almost insignificant besides. These body brings together certain functions which don't have much to do with supervision, such as ERS and Eurex and others, which makes this institution pretty bureaucratic and essentially dependent on the countries.